Colleagues, those of you who are in the building, just a small request. We are humbling ourselves. For those who are sitting far at the back, if we could maybe please just fill all the front tables and then leave the ones at the back. Anyway, when we start serving, we'll start from the front. So if you could fill it's also good for photography for those who are taking photos of the entire venue that, at least we've got we don't have spaces in between. If we could humbly please maybe move forward and join the other tables, we thank you.
All enough. Ladies and gentlemen, are we on? Hi. Good morning. Dumelang. Avusheni. Lochani. Molweni. We are thrilled to see you here this morning. I am grateful for this opportunity to stand in front of you. Let's just kick this off by saying Happy South African Librarians Day. Please, may you greet the next person sitting to you and say it again. Happy South African Librarians Day.
Happy South African Librarians Day.
All right. Now I would like to honor the LIASA and the University of the Northwest Libraries for putting this event together for us professional librarians to come in and celebrate each other. Let's give them a hand of appreciation, colleagues. Again, warmly greetings to our professional librarians and colleagues who joined us online. We truly appreciate and we say hi to you as well. Yes. My name is Kosin Dumela. I am the librarian here at the Northwest University. I'm not alone, yes. I'm with Mr. Romeo Matumba.
Sanbonani. Ndimacheloni. Goeiemorgen. I know baie mense kan praat. Goeiemorgen. Good. I'm just adding the languages because I see that you left out the vendor ones.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Is there a serious, is there a note there that I must take?
That one on purpose because I knew you were coming.
Thank you very much, Kosi. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our day. And I'm saying our day because this is very important. This is the South African, the mic sound. Can the colleagues online hear us? Maybe if you can get a note, Lebu. I see the technical team is telling me that the sound is not coming. We're good. Maybe I will greet you again. My name is Romeo Muburawa Matumba, and I'm currently the Marketing and Communication Librarian at the Durban University of Technology. But I'm here as a LIASA board member. So today is all about LIASA and librarians. So thank you very much. My colleague has already given you just a snippet as to what we're doing here, but you already knew that. So with that, all due respect, I'm just going to quickly, I've just received a thesis here in terms of the protocol. So you'll bear with us online if I'm taking an hour just to finish this one off. In terms of the library management at the Northwest University, the library executives, Dr. Matthew Moyo as the chief director, Dr. Sabele Chizwina, Dr. Nelly Shabalala, Ms. Veluswa Chesha in absentia, as well as Ms. Dina Mashiane, who's also a senior manager, our guest librarians, the LIASA board, and I see there are students also who are here. They're at that table there, they're looking like students. You are looking very young. Thank you very much for joining us, colleagues. We have a very short program. As you can see, even the program directors, they chose the shortest people. So we're going to try by all means to keep this program as short as possible, keep it to our height. So today, as my colleague has already indicated, that we are celebrating the National Librarians Day. We have a theme, and I'm sure you're all seeing the theme and you are wondering why are we talking about librarians as champions of ethical and inclusive AI. All of us are aware that AI is taking over. AI is here and is not going anywhere, but so do librarians. We're not going anywhere. AI needs us. Everybody else out there needs us. So today's session, I'm not going to spoil because we have colleagues who are going to share with us in terms of the AI, in terms of what is happening in our libraries as librarians, as we celebrate this special day. But what can we expect, Kosi?
Mr. Matumba, as professional librarians, now that AI is in the building, we have a question to ask ourselves. Are we ready? Are we prepared? Are we ready to translate the languages and the methodologies into the communities that we serve? I mean, the first time I heard of the concept of AI was like 12 years ago when Professor Marwala was preaching the fourth industrial revolution. So 12 years ago, coming to today, what is it that we are doing? What is our position? So, Mr. Matumba, I'm looking forward to the speakers of the day to give us direction. Because I know, even myself, I'm anxious and excited at the same time when you speak about AI. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now that you know what to expect, we're expecting you to stick with us, and we will try by all means to our speakers. We know you've been allocated like 30-something minutes, but we've reduced this to 15 minutes, and you've all agreed that you'll stick to that 15 minutes. We are going to use a criteria to see, when you are going over the allocated time, you will see us coming smiling to you, next to you, not because we love you. Yes, we love you, but you must take it as a sign. You must understand. Because I think now I can sit down and relax and let you do the hard work. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Romeo, I don't like the hard work. As you can see, I'm not of that stature. Maybe let's just rewind a little bit. Some house rules. Colleagues, if you're gonna need to use restrooms, they are on the same floor. As you walk towards the back, you'll see signage. And also, we please you to keep your cell phones in minimal silence. I know it is important. Or we just put away. It is not fair for a speaker to be standing here and you are on somewhere. I don't know where that is. Okay, right. We are done with that part. We were just doing the highs, but the man of the house is in the building. I would like to invite the director of Northwest University Libraries, Dr. Moyo, to come and officially welcome you, colleagues. Thank you. Let's give him hands of appreciation.
Thank you, program directors, Mr. Romeo Matumba and Miss Kosi Ndumela. President of the Library and Information Association of South Africa, LIASA, Mr. Charlie Mapunjane Molepo. President-elect, I don't see them. Perhaps they are online. Professor Lifuse Makahlela, members of the LIASA board and sector chairs here present and online, the LIASA National Office and staff, our distinguished speakers, including Mr. Geoff Nyoka here, the Northwest University AI Literacy Project team, Prof. Mashilo Modiva, I'm not sure if he is in the room yet, or maybe he's online, and our celebrated poet and author, Mr. Tsepiso Mukwanazi. Northwest University Library and Information Service leadership team and colleagues from our Vanderbilt Park, Potchefstroom and Mahikeng campuses. I'm not sure if our libraries are open today because I see all of them here. Members of LIASA joining us in person here and online, distinguished guests, fellow librarians, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and welcome to the Northwest University. It is my great pleasure on behalf of the Northwest University and in particular the Library and Information Service to welcome you to our celebration of South African Librarians Day 2026. Today's gathering reminds us that libraries continue to play a vital role in shaping informed, inclusive, and resilient communities. As the world rapidly embraces artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies, the work of librarians has never been more important today than ever before. We are not only connecting people with information, but we are also helping them navigate it ethically, critically, and responsibly. This year's theme, Librarians, Champions of Ethical and Inclusive AI, challenges us to consider how we can embrace innovation while remaining firmly committed to the values that define our profession, which is equity, integrity, lifelong learning, and equitable or freedom of access to knowledge as enshrined in the country's constitution. We are honored to host colleagues from across the library and information sector representing diverse institutions. Your presence reflects the strength of our profession, dedication, and our shared commitment to advancing library and information services in South Africa and beyond. We are equally delighted to welcome our speakers and contributors who share valuable insights and inspire meaningful conversations throughout today's program. A special welcome goes to our poet and author, Mr. Tsepiso Mkwanazi, whose contribution reminds us that libraries are not only centers of information, but also spaces where creativity, culture, and storytelling continues to flourish. Today's program is particularly significant as it also marks the launch of the countdown to our LIASA's 30th anniversary, an opportunity to celebrate 3 decades of professional leadership while looking ahead to the future of librarianship in South Africa. As Northwest University LIS, we value our partnership with LIASA and remain committed to supporting initiatives that strengthen our profession, foster collaboration, and prepare librarians to lead confidently and in an evolving information landscape. I trust that today's discussions will inspire new ideas, strengthen existing partnerships, and reaffirm the important role that libraries continue to play in our universities, our communities, and our country at large. It is my pleasure to welcome you once again to the Northwest University, and I wish you all a productive, engaging, and enjoyable South African Librarians Day. I thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Moyo, for your words of welcome in the house. Thank you so much. As we move on into our program, I would like to invite the president of LIASA to come over and give us a a message. Let's give him a hands of appreciation as he comes. Our president is Mr. Charlie Mulepo. Romeo was giving me a hard time to pronounce the other name I always avoid, Charlie Mapuchane Mulepo. Thank you, Tata.
Thank you, colleagues. Good morning. To Chief Director, Northwest Library Services, and your executive, Dr. Moyo. I would like to thank you for giving us an opportunity to be here at the beautiful campus of the Northwest University. I think Romeo was giving you a hard time because I've mentioned to them that if they run out of space, when they write my name, they'll rather write Mapunchane, not Charlie. I'm slowly Africanizing myself, not decolonize. You know, when you decolonize, you still take what belongs to the colonizers and you turn it around so that it suits the African way. But now I'm not decolonizing, I'm Africanizing. So I'm making, I know it's a very difficult name to pronounce. So I'm trying to make people to be comfortable with pronouncing it. And very soon, I'll visit the Home Affairs to remove the other name. This day, 29 years ago, we were in Bloemfontein, City of Roses, a very beautiful City of Roses, where I come from. And we that's when we established LIASA. And this day, we then identify it as an important day in the library calendar. That is why we celebrate it every year. And we, as the board, we felt that we are going to begin a countdown from today to 2027, when we'll be celebrating 30 years of LIASA. And in this process, colleagues, we as the board were standing in shoulders of some of the great leaders that have graced this who have led this august organization. The first president of this association is Ms. Ellen Tice. During this year's LIASA conference in the beautiful city of Johannesburg at Sandton Convention Bureau, we will be recognizing her as she retire from active work. So as I can see, I see most of you have already registered to attend the conference. So we will be celebrating together. She was our first president. And then she was followed by also a retired Robert Murupa, who was then a director of library services at the University of Pretoria. After Robert Murupa, we had Tommy Mathieu, who was coming from the Western Cape, who led LIASA for 2 terms and then handed over the baton to Rachel Moore. Rachel Moore was the first. He was supposed to be our guest speaker today. Unfortunately, she had a minor accident and she's recuperating at home. We wish her a speedy recovery. This was history because she became the first, she was the president-elect, because in the past, we never had president-elects. We used to elect president every 2 years. And then those presidents would then be eligible to serve 2 terms. But during her reign, that's when we had the first president-elect. who would serve 2 years as a president-elect and then serve a further 2 years as a president, who was then followed by Naomi Hasbrook. Naomi Hasbrook was followed by Ujala Satko. She is also, we will also, as Liasa, celebrating her. She's also taking retirement from active librarianship during the Liasa conference. So this Liasa conference is going to be special. 2 of our past presidents will be retiring and we will be celebrating them. After Ujala, we then had Dr. Sekhametsi Mulawa, who became the president, followed by Mandla Ntombela, who is currently also the Skeksal permanent president, followed by Nikki Krauster, and the immediate past was Nazim Hadi. These are the leaders who have led this august association to where it is. And then in 2024, that's when we restructured Liasa from an organization that was governed by an executive and a representative council into a King 4 compliant board of 13 colleagues. The first election were held in 2024, and one of the leaders who are leading a sector, which is the academic and research sector, comes from this institution, and Dina Mashian. We thank Northwest for making this great leader available to us. So this is the first board of Liasa. And what you might have seen recently is that when we do the beginning of the countdown, we'll also share the statistics of membership. Since this board started in 2024, it's growing every year. The trend is going every year. It shows that librarians are beginning to take themselves serious. Colleagues, if we are a professional body, if you want people to respect your craft, if you want people to take you seriously, you must take yourself seriously first. That's why ministers of religion, those of you who are single, when you go for counseling, they will tell you, you can't love somebody if you don't love yourself. So you must love yourself first so that you'll be able to love others. And as a profession, my colleagues will tell you, when we get invited, because one of the work that we need to do as a SAQA professional body is that we must do what we call outreach, community engagement, to let people know about the association and its work. One of the critical things that they normally do when people invite me to come and speak about Liasa and what are the benefits of Liasa, I tell my colleagues, I flatly refused to tell people about the benefits in the manner in which it's done. To say, you will qualify to get a Liasa in touch, you qualify to do this, you will get a t-shirt, and all of those so-called benefits, material benefits. For me, those are not benefits, but those are just privileges. The benefit is belonging to a professional body. That is a benefit. I used to tell people at one stage when I was speaking to library directors, provincial library directors, one of the issues that they were raising is that why when Nkosazana Zuma, when he was the Minister of Cooperative and Governance, he came up with the staffing regulations, and they were saying the staffing, in terms of staffing regulations, you cannot work in the library if you don't belong to Liasa. So even if you are unemployed, you still need to become a LIASA member for them to shortlist you. And one of the complaints was that where does the money come from if you are unemployed? Which is true, which might be true. But one of the things that people were not aware of is that you cannot get shortlisted or get employed as a security if you are not a member of, what's that security? Come again? SIRA. You cannot. And you don't need to, you normally don't go to 4 years of schooling in SIRA. You can take a 2 weeks training and then you qualify. But you cannot work as a security unless you are a member. So why do you want to say now, after spending 4 years, you want to allow people to occupy position in libraries when they are not members of your professional body? Cannot happen. So the good thing that we are beginning to see is that most employers are making, even in higher education. I've just seen an advert, colleagues, those of you who have the requisite skills of UCT, they've advertised the position of the director, research and scholarly research, and one of the requirements, it's professional affiliation, membership of LIAS. It's an inherent requirement. It's not a nice to have. So it means if you don't have, you may have the requisite qualification and skills, but if you don't belong to the professional body, UCT said we are not going to shortlist you. In my institution, University of the Free State, that is the case. Dr. Moyo, I've already said this, I'm going to push Chelsea that you should consider doing away with these fancy titles. Executive Director, Chief Director, Director. We go back. In universities, you used to have 3 officials. Before universities become fancy, there were 3 officials. You have the Vice Chancellor, or you've got 4 officials. You've got the Chancellor, who is honorary, who is sort of a head, but not operations. Then you had a Vice Chancellor, you had a Register, and you had a University Librarian. Those were the 3 officials. Even in the yearbook, just go and find, go to your Northwest University archives, look at the yearbook of, let's say, 1970 something, you'll see. You have the principal or the vice chancellor, you have the registrar and the university librarian. And we used to have our own gown for graduation. Like the VC has a gown, the registrar had a gown, the university librarian had a gown. We, unfortunately, we moved ourselves out of that environment. I'm happy that West University and Central University of Technology, they continued using the terminology of university librarian. And I will be lobbying Chelsea because it's not chief director or executive director. It's a peronominous scale, just like the register. The registrar in a peronominous scale, it's, let's say, is level 3. That's where with all the executives, they belong to that. So, but the registrar, they didn't change themselves name to say we are the executive director because they're at level 3. They retain their status. The deans, they don't call themselves executive, although at UJ they call them executive deans. But still they kept the dean. Right. So I feel strongly, colleagues, that this is one of the few things that we need to do, because that would also safeguard us from the challenges that we have just experienced now, where a non-librarian is appointed to those positions because now the title doesn't say librarian. It says executive director. So I can come with my theology professorship and become an executive director because it's not a librarian position. But if it's a university librarian, then you know it has to be a librarian. Colleagues, I am happy that we find in South Africa, we find ourselves where we are. Just last year, December, we as associations, we have signed a pledge with Gauteng government that professional bodies will then work with government to make sure that people operate within our standards. So what then it means is that government is beginning to accept that professional bodies are here and they play a much more important role. Just last week, we have received a correspondence from the Public Service Commission where they are saying, going forward, we are going to register all our experts from professional bodies. So Dr. Moyo, Tatema Rupini, you will share that information. You'll go into that website of Public Service Commission. You'll tell them that I'm an expert in library information services, specializing in this area. I'm an expert in this area, especially around management around management. So what's going to happen that next time when they employ the parastatals or government, when they employ somebody senior in management position, they will go into that database and look under library professionals who are experts, and then they will select two who will form part of the panel to appoint that person. So now the next national librarian, if by that time has been implemented, because they are targeting a workshop is going to be on the 28th of August this year. Once it gets approved, it becomes a policy of government, is that the next national librarian, when they employ the national librarian, other than the board of the National Library, they would consult two experts from that pool so that we participate in selection and appointing of a relevant. So it shows, colleagues, that government, as it begins to professionalize, we are there. We have also signed, I've just signed from yesterday's after our board meeting, an MOU with Department of Higher Education and Training, DHET, career division. We will be working with them to promote careers in higher education. The library sector has been identified as a specific sector where we will cooperate with them. So as you can see, colleague, the image, the image and the visibility of LIASA is going higher and higher. All these, I'm talking about government departments. You know how government is difficult, how difficult it is to get government to recognize you. So now we are not even knocking at their doors. They are knocking in our door. And they cannot knock in our door if librarians were not there doing great things. So for instance, with DHET, the reason they even came to us is because a librarian in Department of Higher Education who is qualified librarian but is not working as a librarian, is working in that career division. She was the one and said, there is this professional body. These are the people who can help us. So you can see that once you understand your mandate as a librarian, you would know, even if you are not working as a librarian. Maybe it's a good thing that we should also recognize her. Her name is Ntswaki Kala. Ntswaki Kala uboso wena. Liasa chose Northwest University Val campus for a specific purpose. This year, in collaboration with the University of the Free State, National University of Lesotho, National Library of South Africa, we will be hosting IFLA AI Symposium just across the river here in Paris at the venue called Pont de Val. Very beautiful place. It's just 20 minutes drive. The board had a site visit there, and we hope to see all of you in November at that venue. And colleagues, we as librarians, we are normally the trendsetters. We move much faster than the rest of the other communities. The information overload, the impact of AI in our lives and the lives of the people that we help. We as librarians, we need to empower ourselves so that we are able to work in this environment and be able to assist our users to navigate the environment. So that's why even now, we felt that it's important. So we have moved away. We're moving away from just AI literacy. We're no longer talking about AI literacy. We're talking about AI integration. AI literacy is just part one of the things that we're going to do. But now we are embracing it. We are running with it. We are exploiting it to see how best we can use generative AI and other related issues. Colleagues, we as librarians, we are the trendsetters. And when I say this, some people, unfortunately, librarians are modest in nature. We don't like to brag. I don't know. We timid, man. And that's why people overtake us. Do you remember when knowledge management became fashionable? When you look at the requirements, hi man, they're talking about us librarians here. Now there's a new terminology. What do they call it? Prompt engineering. Do you know prompt engineering? It's a strategy. Right? But somebody is going to take it. So you must own it. Okay. We don't have to fight and say, hi, hey, there's nothing like such prompt engineering. This is such strategy. We embrace it. And we say librarians are prompt engineers. Yeah, we are prompt engineers. Yeah, let's embrace it and grab it and argue that nobody is a better prompt engineer than librarians. We must fight. So colleagues, as we do the countdown to 30 years of Liasa, let us embrace our profession. Let us be proud of our profession. And I'm going to appeal to all the librarians who are here and online that those colleagues who have still not taken the designation, you're going to remain behind. I know some people don't even understand what I'm talking about, right? Because you are a Liasa member, it doesn't mean you are a professional librarian. It just means that you identify with us because Liasa is a voluntary association. You believe in our values, you believe in our objective, and you agree with them. But you are not a professional librarian. Akir, don't call yourself a professional librarian. Just say, I work in the library and I've got a library qualification. but you are not a professional librarian. To you to become a professional librarian, you must apply for the designation. Give us your CV, your qualifications, and say, I want to write, when I write my name, I want to be Charlie Mulepo, PLSA. Professional librarian, South Africa. And your name will be in the national learner record databases. Right. Your name will be there. So even if you got lost in Mauritius while you are visiting, when they try to track you, they can find you at SAQA Records because your name will be there. Then they can come to Lias and say, man, there's somebody, he's a PLSA. Then we'll check on our records and say, oh, he works for Northwest University. Then we find your parents or your wife. But if you don't want to be found, yeah. So colleagues, it's very important. So those of you who have still not taken the designation, my advice to you, take the designation. The board yesterday agreed that we will be applying for additional designation so that we have the articulation, right? Remember, currently we only have one designation, which is professional librarian, PLSA. But you need to have at least 3 years experience after qualification. You should have worked for at least. So then there is that gap after qualification and after you have necessary number of years. So we are going to have a junior librarian. So when you qualify, you get your degree from the university, before you find work, you can, we are going to apply to have a designation called junior librarian. And then when after a certain number of years, then you can apply for professional librarian. And then when you become an expert in a field where you are working, let's say you become an expert in prompt engineering, then you can apply for a designation, which we are going to apply for, which will be called senior professional librarian, SR PLSA. We are not leaving our library assistant, those who might have a QCTO qualification or who have been working in the library for a number of years, but they not have a formal qualification. We are going to apply for a designation called library practitioner, LPSA. So there we will consider a lot of them will probably come from RPL, but also from those with the qualification called library assistant, which is a QCTO qualification. And then there are some people with past diplomas, the diplomas of the past. I'm not sure if the University of Technology still have a diploma in LIS. Romeo? Advanced diploma. Yeah. So those are that will be the criteria in terms of the underlying qualification. So colleagues, I'm humbly appealing to all librarians. Please, make sure that you apply for the designation. And lastly, this one, because it will be an internal designation, we don't have to apply in SAQA. We will be putting to the AGM for consideration. Because remember, when you apply for a designation, you need to have 20 CPD points in 3 years, in a 3-year cycle. So some people who have retired might not have an opportunity to do training to get the CPD points. So we are looking at recommending to the AGM that we have a designation that will be afforded to people who have retired, who are active professional librarians, a designation called Emeritus Professional Librarian. You know, when a judge retires, it doesn't lose the status of being a judge. It becomes an emeritus judge. When an academic professor who retires was an active professor and is no longer linked to the university, they keep the professorship, but as an emeritus professorship. The same with the bishops. The same story with the bishops. When they retire, they don't lose their status. The ministers of religion, the librarians will be the same. When I retire in 2 years' time, I wish to become an emeritus librarian. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to our president. As he's sitting down, let's appreciate him once more. We can see he's, besides being a president, he's a passionate librarian. Right, colleagues, a beautiful message, a strong message from our president that says to us as professional librarians, we are challenged. The business is not business as usual. We are now called prompt engineers. We need to sit in those teams when they design these models and advise, evaluate, and look at the responsibility and ethical use of information. Right, we're going to move on with the program. For some delays, our poet is not here as yet, so Romeo will carry on. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, let's give them a round of applause. Yeah, Mr. President, there's a lot of whips, but I won't repeat them here, but it's good whips. But we will not get to that. But thank you very much for reminding us to be proud of who we are as librarians. We've seen this in many places where some people are even scared or afraid or ashamed to introduce themselves as librarians. It's a shame. Halala librarians, halala. Pambili with libraries, Pambili. You're not giving me the energy. Forward with librarianship, forward. Forward with librarianship, forward. Halala. Don't worry, you are safe. I will not say down with the other team as usual. But thank you very much, colleagues. We also just want to acknowledge our colleagues who are joining us virtual. Thank you very much. We see the messages that are coming in. I'll just name a few colleagues from National Libraries, and from Okasi, Walmer Library, UFS, Mpumalanga. Whoa, Mpumalanga, welcome to South Africa. It's a joke. Kimberly, we miss you. I see the Department of Correctional Services. Abu Fater, salute. Bopalapo. Cape Winelands, yeah, we need to go to Cape Winelands. Okavango, DUT, University of Venda, City of Ekurhuleni, Free State. Thank you very much, colleagues. Keep on sending those messages, and we definitely make time to acknowledge you. Colleagues, we had arranged for Mkwanazi to be here. Yes. I see some faces are changing. Some want to leave the room. Prof Moyo, we invited Mkwanazi. Where's the executive? I want to see the executive. We've invited Mkwanazi to come here. Your question should be which one? The right one. So our poet is actually Mkwanazi. I'm not sure if they are related to our Mkwanazi or the other Mkwanazis, because there are many of them. But unfortunately, he's running late, but we will skip that item and move on and proceed with the program. So thank you very much. I think now it's time, our colleagues, in terms of the voices, we have arranged that, colleagues, from our librarians, our own librarians, they should come and share in line with the themes, obviously. They should come and share with us. I know there's an AI team here, and that Jeff, Jeff, when you say AI, you want to say Jeff. It's either Jeff, AI, Jeff, Bookathon, Readathon, it's all of that. So colleagues, if you allow us to jump that poetry item as soon as Mkwanazi arrives, don't run away. Then we'll give him an opportunity just to share with us, some of the poet that he's prepared. I believe he's also an actor, an author as well. Wonderful. Let's give him a round of applause in absentia. So in terms of the voices from the profession, we thought, why not organize and request our own colleagues who've been doing so much work to come and share, and we hear the voices of librarians. And now for this item, maybe we should start with the host. It's for a particular reason. If we could welcome on stage the Northwest University AI Library, or rather AI literacy team to come on stage. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Maybe just before they take over, just a reminder, I know in the program or somewhere else they were told that they will have like 30 something minutes. Unfortunately, you have 15 minutes and your time starts now.
Good morning, colleagues. Yes, Marupin Ramavina from the library here in our Vanderbilt Park campus. Our presentation prepared by our colleagues, Hasani Marupeni and Dina, but all the library staff from the Northwest University participated. Yes. Yes, colleagues, our Northwest University, these are our 3 campuses. On the left is our library in Mahikeng. In the middle is our library in Potchefstroom, and on the right is our library, the beautiful library of Vanderbilt Park. And then here in Vanderbilt Park, colleagues, that's what we say. We have the beast, they call it force of nature here, the Vaal River. Our neighbor here on campus. So we say this is where nature meets academia in perfect harmony. So the river is just 400 or 500 meters from here if you want to see it. We are very proud about that. Go to the next. Our institution here, colleagues, the strategy here, it does talk to community engagement there at the top. It also talks about to research and innovation. I don't want to waste time on this. Can go to the next one. This, we call this the Big 6 in the library at the Northwest University. From goal number 1 there, we call them the content discovery. This will be our colleagues from cataloging. We have innovate and integrate. This is our team responsible for looking for what technologies now to improve service in the library. Number 3 there, we have our colleagues working at information services, information literacy colleagues. And then goal number 4 there, we have our colleagues from, we call them research and open scholarship. ROS, the people who are responsible for your research visibility, research data management, citation management, and encourage and empower goal number 5. Their colleagues, we say if you have a staff capacity of 110, so we need to have ways of developing or improving them now to say, how do you develop your own staff academically, from qualifications, from attending conferences, from seminars. And then lastly, we have an office engage in position. It's called OPQ, Outreach, Projects and Quality. Outreach events organized by the library, that office is responsible for that. The projects, talking about the spaces in the library. Recently, we just opened the 24-hour service in our library in Potchefstroom. And then the quality now, focusing on the quality now of library service. The next one. This is what we are quickly going to talk about, the 3 key initiatives. The first one is called the Science Shop. The second one, Server campaign. And the last one will be Mandela. We'll go to the next one, the Mandela Month AI Literacy. Science Shop, colleagues, this is part of the Northwest University institutional project. The purpose was to capacitate the NEET youth, those youth who are not in employment, not in education, and not in any training. And then the 2 community centers participated there. The community centers from the Mandawana Youth Club in Forgeville, Katelopele Youth Skills Development in Kuma in Steelfontein. The purpose of this project here, it aligns with NW Strategic Plan 2024 and beyond. And we are also addressing goal number 3 of active citizenship. In terms of the SDG in this project, We were addressing goal number 4 of quality education, goal number 10 of reduced inequalities, and goal number 17 of partnership. We'll hear about this science shop in the next slide. Some of the achievement of this. 3 NEET youth from this project, they started their own business after this. One of the NEET youth here started the after-school program of facilitating information literacy. Some of the information literacy ambassadors were developed from this program. 2 papers were presented at an international conference, the ICIL conference in Egypt in 2024. And 2 papers were published in 2025 in our Sagelis paper. And also the 2025 UNESCO International Literacy Prize nomination. And then the same paper was also presented at the LIASA conference 2025. And there was also a poster presentation at the ICIL conference in Germany in 2025. And there was also a presentation from this project at the Ayatul conference in China last year in 2025. And then this will be some of the photos from the project that we participated with library staff in all those community areas in the Northwest and Gauteng province. You can go to the next one. Yes, these are the 2 papers that came out of those projects. They were published by LIASA, but they were published on Sagelis Journal. You can go to the next one. And then we also had this activity here, this campaign, Serve a Server campaign beyond the uniform, digital literacy skills. That was in 2024, focusing on our cleaners at the Northwest University, where we said, as staff of the Northwest University Library, let's impart digital literacy skills to our cleaners, the marginalized group, the forgotten group, if you want to say. And then in our venues, in all our 3 campuses, we offered them mostly to us on CV writing. That was in 2024. And then these are the pictures from those 2 campaigns from our 3 libraries across the campuses. Can go to the next one. And then this year now, we have the Mandela Month AI Literacy Workshops here at the Northwest University. The objective, to equip the learners, to equip the cleaners and the security officers with practical AI skills. Again, that marginalized group. This time we've added our cleaners and security officers there. The purpose of that, to promote digital safety and responsible use of AI tools. We're going to help our participant to identify misinformation, which is very relevant today, the online fraud. And then this workshop, it will be 1 hour, and those are our target audience. We'll go to the next one. And the schedule for this will be next week, Thursday on the 16th, and Friday on the 17th. The workshops will take place across the 3 campuses at the same time, from 10 o'clock until 11:30 in all our campus libraries, and the expected outcomes will be the practical understanding of AI tools, the improved awareness of online scams and misinformation, the increased digital confidence and safer online practices. Very, very important. And then there's this call for action, the last one, colleagues. At the Northwest University Library. This is Mandela Month. The NW Library and Information Services were inviting the entire Northwest community to support our vegetable seed donation drive. What are we saying? Why are we donating? We are donating a single packet of vegetable seeds that can grow. These are the packets that we are donating, where in all our 3 campus libraries, the library in Mahikeng, in Potchefstroom, and in Vanderbilt Park. And the deadline for this donation is on the 31st of July, 2026. So remember, this is a call for everyone to say, please, the Northwest University Library is saying Northwest community participate. Every packet plans who hope strengthen communities, contribute to a future where no one goes hungry. And this project, again, we are saying it supports the UN SDGs. SDG number 2, the one of zero hunger. SDG number 3, the one of good health and well-being. SDG number 11, sustainable cities and communities. SDG number 12, responsible consumption and production. And SDG number 17, the one on partnership for the goals. This is a call for action, colleagues. Everyone, please participate and come and donate this for a good cause. And then these are the future directions for us here, focusing, planning on expanding the AI and digital literacy programs, strengthening library community collaboration. This is not going to stop, it's gonna continue. And then the issue of measuring impact of our work as librarians, very, very important. We're also going to focus on that as the future directions. And I think this was the last slide. You can go. And then at the Northwest University Library and Information Services colleagues, we are saying this is NWLIS as an agent of change. Please join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the team, colleagues. Thank you very much for the wonderful work that you've been doing. We can tell that you have been led. You know, when you are led, when you are truly led, you know, you are empowered. So this is great, and we hope that others who are not maybe at that level are also learning. Maybe collaborate, call them, and then do something similar or even better if you can. So thank you very much. Let's give them another round of applause. So far, in terms of my time, you might get the price. You just left us a good 5 minutes. I'm sure Prof. Modiba will be like, yeah, that's my 5 minutes. I'm not selling that 5 minutes, it's ours. In the next session, we're going to invite Dade Jeff, Mr. Nyoka from the city of Johannesburg, Mr. AI himself, to come and do his presentation. And I know he's going to take maybe 10 minutes. It's very quick. Just let's give Mr. Nyoga a round of applause.
Is it working? Okay, good morning, colleagues joining us online and colleagues in the house. It's an honor to be in this venue, in this wonderful celebration of our profession. And my presentation today is really about the conversations that we should be having as librarians in terms of AI as a technology that's part of us. So, so these are the conversations that I thought we should feature whenever we talk about AI. I know my president spoke about integration. So he sent me an email to say, Jeff, don't just say AI literacy, also say AI integration, and I forgot. So AI usage in libraries, that's something we need to talk about. The role of librarians in terms of AI literacy for us in public libraries. This is something that I've added on our KPI. You know, we had coding, which took off, but now we're adding AI literacy as part of our KIs. It's an emerging field from our perspective within digital literacy. What about operations? And most importantly, what is it that we are transforming when we are using AI within libraries? And then also talking about what kind of guidelines or principles we can introduce. And then we will also give you some updates in terms of developments from the LIASA perspective, lastly, and the learning opportunities available. All right, so I won't get into the technical aspect of AI. I think Dr. Modiba is well versed on that. But I just thought, let me just add some of the areas that integrate AI, as the president was saying, that as prompt engineers, these are the things that we are looking at, whether using it for grammar, document creation, music creation, videos, speech to text, translation, and so forth. And these are some of the AI tools that some of us are familiar with. A piece of information that I thought I will feature there is this recent change that Google introduced, where they are transforming the search engine into incorporating artificial intelligence. Some of you have seen Gemini giving you summaries, so you will see less websites and more summaries. Their reason is that there are too many websites, and they are really prioritizing artificial intelligence as a search engine. This they announced in May 22 or 26, and the conversation we had as a board is that it's our time to shine. And that's why when he says prompt engineering, it's what we've done before all our lives. It's what we've studied. You know, your Boolean searches and just the keyword search, it's what we've done. So the question then is, what role can we play as experts? Because it's really information retrieval. It's part of information retrieval. Okay, so I just thought, let me also say, we should not fear this. We should embrace it, and that's the core of my presentation, because it actually expands our roles. You look at how it supports research and learning as a reference librarian. What else can you do differently with AI? As mentioned, AI literacy and AI integration. What kind of training role can you do as a librarian? Improving your collections and your collection development processes. Digital marketing, you can have a digital marketing librarian who understands how to use AI. That's a new a title altogether. Lastly, somebody mentioned, I think it was Kosi was talking about editing and working on AI documents. All right, so this again, going back to this field, here we are saying you are extending traditional digital literacy, but we want to empower users so that they're not just consumers of AI content, but they are also able to create content. We want to see librarians creating videos, creating music that you can use for your events that don't need copyright. That's just one of the examples. So it's a productive use of AI tools, understanding the mechanics, and evaluating output from things. So it also goes back to integration. We need to understand how we are integrating it. And I just thought I'll add this because that's a conversation we had with Mr. Molepo about how library technology has always been there, you know, machine learning. So AI has featured somewhere, like how she was saying 13 years ago she had about AI topics. All right, so these are library operations that in my previous public libraries presentation I mentioned, whether you're planning an event, you are doing marketing, you are reporting. This, for example, on reporting, we used AI to download, to upload our mobile reader on Excel, and it gave us a brilliant report on mobile reader and how it performed. Circulation, boosting circulation. These are areas we haven't explored in terms of how we can use AI to get reports about circulation, to understand reading patterns and things like that. Lastly, it's human resources and personnel management. There's AI usage there. All right, so, okay, so again, this was very important to me to say, how can we transform library collections through AI? There's one colleague from work who was sharing an experience of using Copilot as part of her cataloging processes. And she loved it, but she was also able to pick that, okay, it presents certain issues. So how do we use analyzing patron demographics and circulation statistics and usage patterns? How do we make decisions in terms of collection development using AI? For me, this is it's very important, especially because we also have digital collections. What if we were using AI to write books and then we edit those books and then we have new collections? So those are areas where we can integrate AI. Okay, so these are just some of the points that are put together in terms of any library or public library that wants to put together guidelines. For example, what does your organization say about AI? Is there a policy on AI within Nelson Mandela, not Nelson Mandela, Northwest, Northwest University? So as the library department, how do you then use that policy to come up with your own guidelines? Which tools are you using? Do you want to use Copilot? Do you use Gemini or Claude? What are the aspects or resources that you will use? Do you want to include all 11 languages? I know Gemini, locally, it accommodates 4 languages currently, but it's got like 70 languages international. What content can you use? Do you want to upload reports, sensitive reports on Copilot, or you don't want to do that? So all of these are decisions that senior managers have to sit down, and your AI literacy team sit down and say, this is how we're going to guide our staff in using AI. And then obviously update those guidelines. Okay, so now I want to update you on our AI literacy staff development. This is where, as Liasa and through us, City of Joburg, because we've got a few partnerships with tech giants. So by a show of hands in the house, who attended the AI Microsoft training? Okay, 2, 3. Okay, okay, so we've got 3 people here who attended. So this was an opportunity for us to actually work with Microsoft and the company, the training company that they appointed, so that we can contextualize the training within our library's context. So what we did, as you can see, the agenda, it was the AI and future of libraries, using user cases in libraries. So we gave him examples in terms of circulation, reading patterns, book selection, and he knew nothing about libraries. So that trainer actually went and researched on the kind of work that we do. So that's something we're very proud of. We had 700 registrations, so I want to thank Librarians Online who registered. We had 600 who attended. Some of them didn't attend with using laptops. They were joining as groups. But I received 574 certificates. And if you are online and you haven't received your certificate, please send me an email. We still have those certificates of attendance. But this was an opportunity for us to package a training that suits our needs and not just have a generic AI in leadership training. Okay, which brings me to the next upcoming one. I attended the recent Google Cloud Summit in Sentin on the 1st of July, and Google, the president was there, and Google announced a few innovations that they're coming up with. The first one that we will be part of, we are already talking to Google, is called Google Hustle Academy. I think it's similar to what they had, which was called Google Digital Skills for Africa, but this one got a different concept, right? So Google Hustle Academy, they run 60-minute training or 1-day boot camps. So we want to do a 1-day boot camp similar to how we did in Microsoft. So these are some of the things they announced. The first one is public-private partnerships. I liked what Northwest is doing, working with communities, but I always encourage other municipalities and to find partners, because we can't do things alone. We have to be part of the world. As our president was talking about how government is coming to us, we can also go to the private sector and say, hey, we are prompt engineers. We've been reference librarians. We know the stuff. We know the content. We just need your resources. So this public partnership, president was saying, we shouldn't just, we should be able to shape the digital future within his speech. And he spoke at length about digital transformation, and I thought this is what we've been doing. The next one is this digital skilling and education, which is a partnership with a British actor called Idris Elba. So they are working with Google. So this is something that I want our librarians to be part of, to identify youth, even among librarians, who can do content creation that uses AI. There's money there, so we will tap into that one way or the other. The last one, they are building that digital innovation center in Soweto that we still have to look into. Okay, for our training as Liasa, this is what it's going to be. We are working with them. We're supposed to have a meeting with Dina and Lebo over there, where we will look at the topics. It's a 1-day boot camp. It will be in person, and there will be certificates. We will announce dates in August, similar to how we did with Microsoft. So these are the areas. So what happens, they gave us a module. So now I have to match this module to library functions. So for example, there's a module on building a ready case building a business ready to scale. It looks at things like how to manage your finances, how to source funding, and other operations in the library sector. A practical AI for your business, this speaks to prompt engineering. So they'll be telling us how Gemini works in terms of our information retrieval skills. Digital marketing, there's your marketing plan, your posters, so that we don't have these AI posters that are sometimes. And then creating engaging content creation. This is very important for librarians. So please look forward to this training so that we can really poke and ask how can we use AI better to do content. And then obviously that one is leadership. And these are some of the courses that they have on the training itself. I must also add that this particular training, we will even be more in control in terms of registration, certificates, and even doing it again. I was looking at what your team is doing with the community, the Mandela one. If you want them to come, I can connect them with you so that you do an in-person one. All right. Lastly, so these are some of the sources that as Liasa and City of Joburg we've introduced. We Cisco Networking Academy, it's called Cisco Net Acad. We are still going to put in the courses. Lebo and her team, they've already registered Liasa as an academy. So once the courses are online, you will be able to go there and do these courses. Some are on AI and other topics. The other one, I've already spoken about Google Academy. So the idea here is for Liasa to partner with Google officially. So we will be working with the president because as a City of Joburg, they've been our partner since 2018, but we want to partner with Google so that they have a national footprint through libraries. And then obviously Microsoft. So those are the partners that I encourage librarians to explore doing courses on AI. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Jeff. Thank you very much. Now, colleagues, these are just some of the initiatives that we can say we are using them to demonstrate that, the fact that, librarians are really indeed, trendsetters. But in the words of the president, if we start something and we leave it there, other people are going to come and take over and run with it. And then we cry foul later and say, but we started this, you started, and then what? But I also wanted to applaud the colleagues, from Ramabina and the team. You mentioned that all the activities and initiatives that you are doing, you are also publishing them. Colleagues, that is another way. The reason why you go to literature, you search, you find everything, you're finding things that are done in Europe and what is because each and every little thing they do, an achievement, they are writing and publishing. And as librarians, we are no longer just research supporters. We are contributing, to the development of these researches. Not just development, but we are contributing to the scholarly communication, scholarly, publications. So sharing and publishing what you've been doing is another way of cementing that to say we are not just spectators or assistants. We are actually doing the job. So let's give them a round of applause. And just like in theater and don't take any offense, Jeff, and just like in theater and soccer, you have curtain raisers. They start, they open, and then you get the bigger people. The main, I'm not saying them, but you get the team that everybody wants to go and listen. But I will get to that. I think you'll get to where I'm going. But before we get to that, earlier on, I indicated that Mkwanas is coming, and some of you were changing your faces. Some started deleting. And remember, you delete, we retrieve. But you can be rest assured, I am talking about Mkwanazi, the poet, Mkwanazi, the actor, and I believe he's in the building. Can we give Mkwanazi, Tsepiso Mkwanazi, a round of applause as he comes and take over the stage? Normally, they don't even like mics, these people. They come from the back screaming, umpalo, when we see, This one I see is like, time to be modern. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Dumelang. Le kae? Sanibonani. Lochani, Thokozani, More. Good morning. My name is Tsepam Kwanazi, the first male teenage international, multi-nominated, multi-award winning, multilingual author in Gauteng, born in Bophelong, Vanderbilt Park. So today I'm gonna recite 2 poems. The first one, it is dedicated to the librarians. Then the second one is dedicated to all of us. Umang, who are you? The keepers of light. A library is not merely a building, but is the heartbeat that never stops reading. In every book, a universe begins. A whisper becomes a dream. A reader becomes a leader because a librarian believed. Ke a leboha, balebedi ba tsebo, le bonesa tsela ka mantswe, le ruta setjhaba ho lora, le haha bokamoso ka buka. Ngiyabonga maqhawe ezincwadi, ningabagcini bolwazi, nivula iminyango yamathuba, nikhanyisa ikusasa lezingane. You are the quiet heroes who never ask for applause. Yet every success story carries your invisible fingerprint. A child enters searching for one book, but leaves carrying thousands of possibilities. A writer enters seeking inspirations, but leaves carrying a masterpiece. A nation enters seeking answers, but leaves carrying hope. Motho ke botho ka batho. Through libraries, we discover ourselves by learning from others. Books do not discriminate. Knowledge has no color. Wisdom knows no language. Every page welcomes every soul. So today we celebrate you, the guardians of stories, the keepers of history, the protectors of imaginations, the architects of tomorrow. May every shelf continue to speak. May every library continue to breathe. May every librarian continue to inspire. Because when libraries flourish, community grows. When readers rise, nations prosper. Happy National Librarians Day. Re a leboha, ngiyabonga, ke a leboha. Nzakhenza, baya danki, Mercy Bucop. Thank you. Omang, who are you? Let me put. No. Yeah. Omang, who are you? Omang, who are you? Nna ke Mofokeng wa Tshele, motho wa Halekutlwana wa ho ja mmuta ditsebe ya ho fela ho totoro. Ngisho uMkhwanazi umfane enkosi umabuzabuzana umqaqe umhlaba wabusindabekazi ushamana sundongo umpanje ezitha umthakatho othakathe emini abanye bathakathe ebusuku ngitho umakhamsela njengelanga etaba wena umang who are you njengoBrenda Fasisi hlabela amadlozi asithakathi sisebenzisa imithi to heal the community to come with infinity, integrity and dignity ekaba wena umang. Hopola, ha o sa tsebe mo o tswang teng o keke wa tseba mo yang teng hoba gagi o gagase sa mo gageng le borokong. Bomme ba qoqa ba qoqa mokoko o kaolang se ganang se thola moba e ka ba wena omang who are you?
I told you. But I understand that online colleagues were not able to hear him because he was not using the mic. But also here, some of you don't understand. Is it Sotho kara ke Sepedi? Ke Sotho. Some of you don't understand Sesotho. But don't worry, I am here for you. I am here for you to translate parts of what he was saying. And for colleagues online, we know that most of you don't understand, you didn't understand the language, or maybe you didn't get the sound because there was no sound. But I'm going to quickly summarize some of the things that he was saying. And he said, hey, who are you? Umang wena. These are like, oh, I'm supposed to translate to English. You are calling yourself a librarian, but you are not a LIASA member. Umang wena. You are calling yourself a librarian, but you don't want to be associated with others. You don't want to collaborate with others. Umangwena. How, guys, clap hands for him. I am not done. You are calling yourself a professional librarian, but you don't have a PL in your signature. Umangwen. By the way, I noticed some comments others were asking. Those of you who wants to know, or rather you need help in getting your professional designation, just visit the website or contact the office. It takes just to complete, it's less than 3 minutes. Less than 3 minutes, I can guarantee you. And then because you're already individual member, you already have your individual membership. You already paid for that. You're just leaving it hanging there. So please take the advantage today. Some of the colleagues are here. If you want, we can help you today. If you want, maybe during lunch. But umangwen. Anyway, let's proceed. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Kwanazi. Let's give him another round of applause. I had to cut my previous speech, not a speech, but my talk, and I was trying to think about, hey, I don't want people to be offended. But then I said, no, man, there's levels. Even in soccer, you know, you've got big teams like, you know, Sundowns, you know, Bloemfontein Celtic is a big team. It's not there, but it's still big, you know, Orlando Pirates. And then I'm talking big, like levels. Then you can move to the other levels. We won't mention, but you know. So I was saying, thank you for the Knoxworth in terms of sharing what you're doing in terms of digital literacy and AI. Thank you, Ntade Jeff, for what you're doing. It's amazing. But now I'll say curtain raisers, because now we are going to bring in the professor himself. His PhD was in AI. So that's why you must understand when I say curtain raisers. His PhD is in AI, he's a specialist. He's been speaking global, all over, IFLA, wherever you go. No, he's been there, he's the experienced one. So hence I was saying, we as Liasa, we brought you the best of the best. We brought you those who are on the ground and those who are all over. So ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to bring in Professor Modiba, the guru himself.
Good morning, colleagues. Thank you very much, Program Director, for introducing me, and I appreciate colleagues, and I appreciate the opportunity and the invitation to be here to talk to librarians. Yeah, I just cracked a new concept there. Librarians. I'm here to speak to librarians, and colleagues. I hope whatever that I'm going to share here will make sense, and I hope you will learn from me, because I've learned from you as well. So we must learn from each other. So to the leadership of Liasa, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Colleagues who are here from the University of Northwest, others from the public sector, the Department of Arts, and everywhere within the country. If we have got colleagues who are from Africa and international colleagues, I greet you in the name of AI. So I don't know, I'm going to do this thing. Let me just take it out. Yeah, thank you very much. Colleagues, I'm just going to talk about a title there. What does it mean to be ready? Artificial intelligence and smart library stewardship in the fifth industrial revolution, South African positionality, our position as South Africa. So few concepts there that I will be talking about: our state of readiness as a country, what is AI, what is smart library, then what is the position of South Africa with regard to adopting AI. And colleagues, we cannot measure our adoption based on what we do in the academia. We should measure our adoption based on what we do in the public. That's the safest place where we can say we are doing much better, because I mean, we know what we do in academia, we know what is happening in the private sector. There is that kind of progress with regard to the implementation of AI. But our private libraries, again, they are kind of at the same level with the public sector. This is our public libraries. I mean, even a tortoise is much better in terms of speed than what we do as a country. And that must change, colleagues, because we are in the 5th industrial revolution and we are South Africa. I mean, countries are looking at us with regard to the adoption and implementation of AI. We should do better than what we do. So this is what I'll be talking about. I think I was introduced. Can you go to the next slide, please? Well, what is AI? I think we need to start there. In the context of smart LIS, smart library information services, then what are the smart libraries are we talking about? Then what is 55R? How does it differ to 4IR? Where are we? Are we still in the 3rd? Are we in the 4th? Are we in the 5th? These are pertinent questions that we need to talk about. Then what is the problem? There is this serious problem that we are facing as a country with regard to AI. Then the purpose, the objectives. Then in terms of literature, I will talk to skills, very important, the tools and resources. But you know, what are the challenges that we are facing? Forget about the research methodology there. It's not that important where we are. Then we'll talk about recommendations. What is it that must be done for us to be, you know, being visible in the adoption of these AIs, especially in the public sector? That's where we must gauge ourselves. We can move to the next slide, please. Yes. Colleagues, I think we should all agree that, okay, before I can maybe start with my presentation, when I am invited to speak as a guest, I avoid addressing kind of practical issues of AI as if I'm delivering a workshop. So I want to talk about something that we can relate to at operational level, for example. That is why we check the state of readiness. And that is why, of course, we'll have to look into the skills and the tools as well. But what is very important is for us to look at what I recommend should work for us as the country. But I think we should all agree that there is a transformation. There is a digital transformation that we are subject to as a result of 5IR. 5IR stands for the 5th Industrial Revolution, which talks more on collaboration of AI and human intelligence, a stage where human beings can dance together with AI. In the context of a robot, for example. Remember, scholars differentiate AI from machine learning, from robotics. But I normally say, you know, when you define what AI is in the context of robotics, of which we talk cobotics now because we are in the 5th Industrial Revolution, it's a cobot, it's a collaborative robot that is embedded with AI software. That's what makes that cobot intelligent. Without that software, no matter how beautiful that gadget is, it cannot be smart because there's no AI embedded on it. So in a nutshell, when we talk about AI, we are talking about a smart or intelligent software. Is that clear, ladies and gentlemen? It's a smart or intelligent software that can be integrated anywhere in our systems, including the cobot I've spoken about, to make it smart, to make it intelligent. And hence now we will talk about this digital transformation. Not only LIS that has been affected. Almost all disciplines have been affected by the introduction of AI at the level of 5IR, for example. This transformation affects all of us in the industry. not only us, records management, knowledge management, we are all affected, even in the museums. Hospitals they're affected. Everywhere, in finance, in economics, we are all affected because how we do things have changed by the introduction of this artificial intelligence. And it should also affect how we deliver information services. I am a fan of a person who speaks AI from a practical point of view and demonstrate how AI can transform how we deliver services. I want to see AI in action in our libraries. That's me. And I normally say, before you can say, I'm going to put an intelligent machine, you see this AI, intelligent machine like a robot or a cobot, you put it where you are not pressured by any kind of peer pressure. Because my observation is that there's a trend of putting an intelligent machine on your information desk to do information services. It's a trend I've observed, especially in our country. The question is, why do you put it there? Are you a victim of peer pressure, or did you investigate and identify a problem that is beyond human intelligence that need intervention of artificial intelligence? So before you put AI somewhere, please know the problem. Why am I putting it here? Because it must come and work with us, not against us. And it must come and work for us, not compete with us. Wherever we put it, it should be a place where there are repetitive activities in the library. Take, for example, stock taking. Who loves stock taking? Who enjoys doing stock taking? No, surely no one. Eh? Am I wrong? I mean, you get home tired, and you getting home tired affects how you must run your household. Is that okay? Then put AI there, put a robot there to do that difficult task, so that we'll have strategic librarians in the library who are strategists, who are implementers of AI, because AI has taken tasks that makes us tired. Are we together? So there is this transformation that we need to talk about as a result of AI in the fifth industrial revolution. And our services must also speak to where we are. Services must be faster. I mean, there must be efficiency and there must be effectiveness in what we do in the library, because now our services will be provided faster. Not only faster, our services can be provided digitally, remotely, through this AI that we talk about. It mustn't just end there, ladies and gentlemen, that I come and say AI can deliver services faster, AI can even address remote clients, but I don't go to the extent of demonstrating to you through some examples of these AI tools that can do that. Let me just say, for example, if you are on your database, you are looking for a specific article on AI, perhaps by Mudiba, we have got a smart app or software that is called Elasticsearch that assists a system to quickly retrieve information more than how you can as a human being. So already there is a software that is capable enough of retrieving data quicker than you can do as a human being. And that is Elasticsearch. What is Elasticsearch? We need to be fascinated enough to investigate what Elasticsearch is. What about AI agents? I mean, I've seen colleagues talking about your Gemini, your what is this one from Microsoft? Copilot. You must listen, Romeo. You know, so this can serve as AI agents that we integrate into our systems, and they assist deliver services to our people remotely and otherwise. If you embed a co-pilot as an agent on your website and you program it and link it, integrate it to all systems in the library, are you aware that somebody sitting somewhere at home is able to access your services through that agent, be it co-pilot? There is this other free one, not free as such, but they've got a package for free, which is called, why is it running away? No. The name will come back. It's an AI agent that we program it, plug it into our systems. Then, as it is integrated, if you want to know about the services in the library, you will be able to know about the services in the library. The name will come back, don't worry. Because it's not part of my slide anyway. But the question is, what is our state of readiness in terms of us adopting these AI tools that I'm talking about? What is the state of readiness? In terms of skills, are we skilled enough to be able to adopt these AI tools? What is our state of readiness in terms of infrastructure? These are the things. But anyway, talking about the skill, which perhaps will talk to trading and capacity building, are we aware of what AI can do within our space in the libraries? That's what you need to talk about, because once we understand the state of readiness, then we are able to identify areas where improvement is required, and that will enable us to smoothly adopt this AI I'm talking about. Are we together, colleagues? Just check on your Maitan, the open source AI agent, open source. I don't know why RASA comes. It's RASA. I don't want to talk about RASA. There is this one that I normally talk about everywhere I talk, but RASA is one of them, but I'm not on RASA. RASA is RASA. I'm not talking about RASA. There's a name that I want there. And colleagues, as librarians, we need to be capacitated enough to train these AI agents to speak what we want to speak in our libraries through the use of RASA, for example, that we are talking about. But there is a name that I want there, apart from RASA. Please tell me if you got the name. Can you move to the next slide, please? So, indeed, AI has changed how we do things. And I've said, did you get it? Okay. It has changed how we do things, which is a naked truth. But what is AI? And I've said AI is a smart, intelligent software. But again, AI is also defined by algorithms. And algorithms is what makes AI to be AI. And one of the algorithms that we can talk about is machine learning algorithm. A very powerful algorithm that can even make an agent, for example, to work without you. If perhaps you come today, you ask even a robot a particular question that it is not clear on how to respond to you, by virtue of that engagement with you, through this algorithm, it is able to learn. And the next client will come with a similar query, is likely to get the most updated information. It took an algorithm. Then we have got the so-called natural language processing algorithm, which is capable of language understanding. I mean, if you say, Siri, please do this, what happens? How is it able to understand what you are trying to say? Because algorithms are numbers. Remember, computers are talking through numbers. So each number represents each weight. And it's these algorithms I'm talking about. And NLP is the one that makes that machine to be able to comprehend what you are asking and provide the answer for that. Are you getting this thing that I'm talking about? No. Just open source AI agents or chatbots. Anyone who can assist there. Open source. Rasa is one of them. I don't know why the name just went away. Hey, somebody's bewitching me. So that's what AI is. Colleagues, apart from AI agents, like Rasa that I talked about, your Copilot. Copilot is proprietary. And if you go to public sector and talk about Copilot and these proprietary AI tools, they will talk about lack of funds. Then we need to talk open source to them so that at least they are able to utilize or experience AI in action. So you still have the so-called recommender systems, AI recommender systems. You are looking for an article on Mudiba, but through this recommender system, you get more articles about the same subject, but not written by Mudiba, but other scholars. You might have looked for an article on Mudiba, but end up getting a perfect article that is not written by Mudiba through a recommender system. So a list will come. You will have your own article here, but with a list of recommended articles. What is that? That is AI recommender system. And systems like Alma, Quora. Alma is proprietary. Quora is open source. Mostly used in Africa, in Zimbabwe, is used in Cameroon, is used in Namibia. Hence, they sometimes think they are ahead of us in terms of digital transformation because they rely on open source, something that we are not relying on. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? So, such systems like Alma, like Quora, they are embedded with recommender systems. Not only the integrated library management systems, also your databases. I think almost all databases of late, they are embedded with that recommender system. You look for one article, others comes voluntarily so. That is the power of AI. Romo, are you getting this thing? No. WordPress, yeah, give the president a round of applause. WordPress, that's what I'm looking for. WordPress is a very intelligent AI agent that you can use for free. You can use for free because it's an open source. And I've seen libraries are coming gradually towards WordPress because that's what I preach. That's what I preach. Somewhere, not here anyway. But then the state of readiness is very important, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of capacity and resources. Can you go to the next slide, please? I think I've also alluded to 5IR, but not talk about it because I've said 5IR is that collaboration. And this collaboration is very important. In the past, when we were talking about 4IR, because in 4IR, a machine can come and replace anyone. It doesn't collaborate. Hence, it is called a robot, not a cobot. The core there represent collaboration. So in the 4IR, a machine will come, automate, and people will go home. Hence, there was such a noise with regard to adoption, which is much better now because in 5IR we say robots and AI are our colleagues and they are our servant. They are our technologies that need to be utilized day and night. Are we together? Then what are the smart services? Smart services, these are modern services that we need to talk about. And you can't talk about smart services and not talk about automation of circulation. Hence, you have got a self-service machine in other libraries where I come as a client, not talking to any librarian, get a service and go without talking to you. And I don't have to talk to you, by the way. If your services allow me to come, get my book and go home without speaking to anyone. We are looking for such services. Because, you know, when we talk about smart libraries, we can engage in two levels. The first level is the visual part of that library. That we need to have visual systems that will provide library services to our client, no matter where they are. Because that services are digital or they are virtual. But we can also talk about a physical library, which is intelligent enough and embedded with these intelligent technologies. Your robot with smart shelves. A shelf that will beep when you put a book at the wrong place. Then there will never be this issue of mis-shelving. Because automatically when you shelve, it does even shelf reading. Then this thing of in the morning, as between the shelves, it might come to an end. Because in the library, the first thing that we do is to perform a ritual. What is this ritual? Everybody to the shelves. We are doing shelf reading. Is it not what we are doing? Oh, by the way, some other libraries will have shelvists that are capable enough, but that's what they do, by the way. But if you come from the small libraries, public libraries, in the morning, except for a manager, can you pass there? I've spoken about 5IR, I don't have to repeat. Is it clear, ladies and gentlemen? And these are the topics, colleagues, that we want to engage at the level of masters and PhD, so that we transform our profession. Next slide, please. What is the problem? We lack tools. We lack resources. We lack skills for us to be able to adopt and implement AI. That's what we are looking for. You know, when I was coming here, I had almost 3 presentations. There's this other one I like, which is very fresh. I'm here to talk about it. Smart data-driven or data analytics tools. How familiar are we with data science in the profession, with data management, with data analytics? Leadership talked about Excel. And Excel is one tool of data analytics. Are we aware? But did you notice that we moved away from Excel to Power BI, to Oracle? Are you aware? And even Alma is embedded with data analytical tool, which is Oracle. So this age where we are, talking about Excel leadership is a little bit, we need to upgrade it to Power BI. Are we together? Hey, I don't know if I am speaking alone or what. Are you following? Who doesn't have access to Power BI? As long as you are in government, you have got access to Microsoft. And Microsoft comes with this package. Power BI is there. How are we using it? How familiar are we with this Power BI as far as data management is concerned? How accurate is it? So our systems must also be embedded with these data analytical tools. For us to draw the stats, then we'll stop putting somebody on the circulation desk to count the people as they come in the library, as if we are counting sheep coming to slaughter. While we've got a smart gate that can be embedded with data analytical tools, everybody who comes is recorded. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? So these are the things that we need to talk about. And again, perhaps when I speak about proprietary, I must also speak about open source. What is the open source of our BI? We've got the so-called Metabase BI. Metabase BI perform the same functions of Power BI. But if you don't have access to Power BI, why can't we try Metabase BI? So that's the problem. Then we need to assess ourselves in terms of tools, resources, in terms of skills, funding, most importantly, management support. Do we have management support that will support these initiatives? It becomes a problem, you know why? When we want to attend trainings and workshops. Management, in most cases, they don't go anywhere. They sit back. They rather send you to a workshop. But when you come back with new information, they think you are challenging them. And they become gatekeepers. Now you have paid money for workshop that when you want to come implement, they say, not here. We don't want AI here. So it's one of the things that we must deal with. This management support is critical. I am a fan of managers who attend workshops themselves, who attend trainings themselves, to experience this thing, to hear this thing firsthand, so that when we come back, they are the ambassadors of digital transformation. You should have been clapping hands for me because I'm addressing the biggest elephant in the room. So that is my plea to managers. When there are AI workshops, let's do like leadership. Who is advocating for AI? And we see by actions, not by lip service. So it is important that we do so, colleagues. Can we move? Then, like I've said, colleagues, the skills, the tools, the challenges, and what am I recommending? I'll just pass over them so that I save time. And again, if you aspire to be a researcher, please just get a topic here. Something like that. Then let's research about it. And that knowledge will add value in practice, in academia. Hence, now at UNISA, ladies and gentlemen, we have revamped our information science qualification. How, where did we arrive on us revamping it? It's because of this kind of engagement. The results of somebody else's thesis or dissertation. Then we are using those case studies to come up with a program that will speak to where we are today. May we give UNISA a round of applause. We have registered student first year on this program that I'm talking about. And Liasa was part of the stakeholders that was consulted and other stakeholders in the community. So what are the skills? Colleagues, you cannot operate in the digital realm without digital skills. Not in the spiritual area. Nearly went to go back to church. Colleagues, we need to, even when we procure library items, procure too little of physical items and procure more on digital items. Because we are the digital society. We are the information society. And most of our clients are more advanced than us in terms of technology, in terms of AI and digital transformation. So we need to come up with skills that will empower librarians and baptize them from librarianship to cybrarianship. Digital skills is one of them. AI literacy, of course. And AI literacy is just a mere talk on how Copilot can do this and that. And even get out of our field, talk about academic stuff, because that's the problem we have in academia with students who abuse AI, Copilot, ChatGPT. They just ask a question, it comes, they give us as it is. The AI literacy at that level must be addressed there. Here, at least, let's talk practicality on how this can do this that we are doing and is wasting our time. So these are the skills. Data management is of paramount importance, and data analytics, there they are. These are the skills. Human capacity, organizational readiness, ethics, very important. The ethics of AI. We mustn't just use AI for the mere fact of using AI. We know what happened in other departments. Your communication department, home affairs, where AI was used unethically. And we know the repercussions of not using AI ethically. And we need to also deal with a stigma that we mustn't use AI. There's this stigma that if I stand here and say I use AI, you think people will run away from you. No, that is why we have got a problem with the Africanization and the decolonization of AI. Hence, we feel like AI is not for Africa. How can it be for Africa if when we see AI, we see Hoho, a monster? The only time AI will recognize African content is the day we engage AI practically and drastically. And even our programmers in Africa must also play a part in the programming of this thing, the coding that leadership was talking about. But when I say use AI, you feel like people, hey, this one, there's nothing wrong using AI. And as librarians, we must be the ambassadors of AI. But what we must practice is the ethical use of AI. Can we move? The tools, colleagues, I think I've spoken about some. Colleagues, the power of VR and AR, virtual reality and augmented reality. How can we use it? We can use it even for information literacy courses. Because VR, AR can teach, can train, can do workshops, can do information literacy, can show users how and where to get what in the library. That is VR. Robotics we talked about. And robotics, there is this Colibot, very intelligent cobot that can even be used as an agent, that can even be used as a recommender system. So when you have got Colibot, you have got almost everything because it can serve as an agent, serve as a recommender system, and it can also guide users on how to use the library. Are we together? I can't talk to machine learning. I think I've touched based on almost all. Can we move to the next slide? Very important, dear colleagues, funding, chelete. Through organizations such as LIASA, for example. Let's go out and get funders out there in the world. Let's approach businesses in the country in Africa where we say as a profession, we aspire to transform our services even in the public sector. And we need money. Then we invite ministers and deputy ministers. I know we write these speeches for them, but they come and talk about, don't worry about funds. Funds. Where are the funds when we want to transform our public sector in terms of AI? So funding is very important. We need money to procure, and these tools are very expensive, ladies and gentlemen. Hence, perhaps we need to change a language on proprietary and go to a bit of open source. But open source has its own challenges as well. Because you go to CETA, they say, they now want to vet every system that you want to introduce. And you might not get approval from CETA, for example, to maybe go for BotPress that I talked about, a powerful tool that we can use and substitute the proprietary tools. It becomes a problem. So political buy-in is also very important. Let's change policies. Let's change legislations. We are many, and LIASA is too old and big enough to challenge legislations in the country, to influence parliament. Oh, it's much what? Management endorsement, I've spoken about many. Hey, we cannot do anything without management endorsements, ladies and gentlemen. To begin with training. There is a training on AI I want to attend. And colleagues, I know sometimes we want to attend free trainings, but are they really giving us what we want? Hence, I've got a problem with us inviting speakers who are going to talk AI at a high level, from engineering, from computer science, from IT, and leave us here. After that, we don't know what he said. We want people who will contextualize AI, who will make it practical enough to say you can use BotPress as an agent. Somebody in Matatiele can know your services. What time are you opening? Which services? And they can even throw documents from the library, wherever they are, decide whether they send it through WhatsApp, email, it doesn't matter. Let's move. Challenges are many, colleagues. I will just, limited funding I talked about, high cost of implementation. Colleagues, high cost of implementation, not high cost of management. What is expensive phase implementation? Once we implement, it will run itself. Unlike us keeping on fixing what is broken currently in our systems. And we waste money, we build money fixing what is broken. Rather, just transform everything and you'll have a proper system that you have paid, but that will sustain you. Yeah, this is the animal now, change management. People don't want to change, resistant to change. Among us here, you might find out that there are people who are anti what I'm talking about. And it's normal. And we can't penalize you for that. If I can check properly, synchromatically and otherwise, among us, there are people who are rejecting what I'm talking about. And it's common sense. As you are a speaker, you must know that the people are going to be against what you speak. And don't be offended by people who give you a contrary view, because that's how we grow, especially when we are critiqued. We grow as academics, we grow when we are critiqued. I don't want to speak and when I leave here, wow, wonderful presentation. No, I want to be critiqued. What about this and that and that? These are a lot of things that we can talk about. Interoperability, ladies and gentlemen. Interoperability, integration, compatibility. Remember, you move from a legacy system to a new system. Check such things. Are they going to be interoperable, compatible, to avoid technological obsolescence? Move, my brother. Then, what is it that I'm recommending? Are you following? First thing that you must do then, as a profession, is to secure funds. If we must go and rob a bank, let's do that. A chairperson. We must just find a way to get funding. No, when I engage with academics, because I know academic librarians are a bit advanced like Romeo, you have got access, because universities take libraries the heartbeat of the institution. And you know, the success of a university is based upon a library and information services that are running properly. Hence, they invest a lot there. Hence, they don't struggle with funds and blah, blah. If you see an academic library not transforming, you must know that there are sabotages inside. Yes. Hey, he says I mustn't preach a lot. Colleagues, we cannot go forward if we sabotage each other. We only support this project because it's Romeo's project. It must go. It's Mudiba's project. Who's Mudiba? And we have such politics. We need to address our internal politics so that we can be able to transform and treat an idea as an idea, not label ideas to people. That is why we have got cabal within our institutions and sabotage. Secure funds, invest in staff training, colleagues. How many trainings do you attend on AI? Where you will be taught on how practically you will use AI to deliver a service or to manage a library. Colleagues, if I'm Dr. Moyo, sitting in my office in Mafikeng, the head office, I mustn't move from my big office to the libraries within the university, other campuses, for me to inspect what they do. I can inspect sitting down. Why? Because there's a dashboard. Now I'm talking data analytics. I can see what Val is doing, their services, where they lack. I just pick a call. Hey, Ndati, what is happening here? Something is not moving here. Sitting at home, not coming to do a physical inspection, because a dashboard, which is part of data analytics, assisting Tate Moyo sitting in his office, managing all the 3 campuses, sitting down. Because of a dashboard. What is happening in Portuguese room? Zoom, how is their circulation? Clients that are coming. That is Power BI or Oracle that might be embedded into these systems. You must promote. But colleagues, please take that capacity building very serious. And please know where you are taking your people for training, because people go for training, they come back empty. And we spent money. Once you attend a training that at 12 we are done, 12 o'clock, we are done, and you have paid for that service, there's a red flag, there's nothing. How come you go to a training, 12 o'clock you are done? How come you attend a training where the student is more knowledgeable than the lecturer? Because we teach these people in trainings. As a delegate sitting down, that is why sometimes we attend conferences, we keep quiet, because you don't want to sound smart or what, but you can tell that this man is lying. And but don't be like that and be rude and correct facilitators. It's rude. Rather, over tea, say, Chief Mola, you were supposed to say this. That's my view, again, so that we have got this humility within us. Yeah, Then promote management support, I've spoken about it. Upgrade infrastructure, ladies and gentlemen. We need to upgrade infrastructure, very important. We have got old computers that will never even put one AI tool without crashing that thing. So we need to upgrade our infrastructure. Other challenge in the public, Romeo, as I'm about to sit down, is internet, the quality of the internet, especially in the public sector. That internet, if there's a rain coming, it goes with the rain. And you cannot talk digital transformation with such an inadequate internet infrastructure. We need proper network infrastructure for that. Then awareness and advocacy, colleagues. So when we live here, we must be the ambassadors of 5IR, the ambassadors of AI, the ambassadors of smart libraries. Nowadays, we don't even call them smart anymore. We call them intelligent, because it goes with the AI. The intelligent is very important. The smart is like where we come from. So when you say intelligent, then let us become the ambassadors of AI. But again, colleagues, this is very important, Romeo, I'm sorry. Security. Once you decide to move to digital world, you must know that attacks are imminent. Cybersecurity. Are we together? And you must invest on cybersecurity tools to defend your system against the attackers. Otherwise, you'll be hacked every day. And imagine what will happen if you are hacked every day. Then integrate this AI into existing library systems. Things like WordPress, you can put it there, plug it, put it on a website, put it on Facebook. Instead, there's this room chatbot that we normally use in the Ask the Librarian. Is this still alive? Ask the Librarian. Is this still alive, that thing? That thing can never do anything if you're not there. Relies completely on you. How useless is that? Please research more on WordPress. I beg you. Then from there, foster this collaboration and partnership. Can you go to the next slide so that I can conclude? Is the conclusion. The next slide is the conclusion, ladies and gentlemen. As I am sitting down, I am saying we need to embrace AI. You cannot apply it if you don't embrace it. Accept it. Don't take it as a competition. Take it as your slave. AI must be a slave. That once we take it that way, we change the perception. Perception is very important. How do you feel about it? You cannot love it if you don't feel well about it. It begins with the feelings. We need to change that perception so that we can see the usability of this AI in our libraries. And from there we can address our skills. From there we can talk about infrastructure. We can talk about funding. And most important, we can talk about management, endorsement. And we need digital transformers and strategists as managers, who, when we come back from this kind of engagements, they are not going to suppress us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. You know, as a program director, sometimes you have these powers. I was hesitant to use my powers because he said some of us are suppressing him because I kept on showing him time. So thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. Unfortunately, I had to rush him because of time. We promised everyone that we'll have a short program. And now we have a very, very long program. Colleagues, in your program, you might have seen that we're supposed to have a video section, or rather a video that we're supposed to play. Unfortunately, I'm looking at time, and I don't think it would be wise to play that video now. The video is the video that was also played at the LIASA conference, but we will play it later. So I was pleading also for the colleagues who are also joining us online. They've been there for over 2 hours now. So if we could move, if you can allow me for us to move to the part where the president spoke about the launch, as you know, or rather the anniversary. Next year in 2027, LIASA will be turning 30. How many of you are 30-year-olds here? Including me? Yeah, some of us were born in that, and now next year, as part of preparation for that celebration, we thought we'll use this day, our day, as part of launching the countdown. And I was hoping that IT will be displaying the countdown, which is also available on our Liasa website. And I think the press wanted to say something in terms of the countdown. If we could just give him a few minutes and a round of applause as he comes to the podium.
We need to blacken it out.
Those who are online, you'll see the countdown will be coming just now. You can start counting. It's already there. That's how proactive we are. And just to thank you, Prof, in terms of reminding us, in terms of looking into ourselves, in terms of our readiness, whether being it adopting or using it with understanding. So, and I know you also provide this kind of training. So those of you who need more details, maybe it will be wise to also contact him and get more details. President.
Thank you. Thank you, colleagues. As we earlier indicated that we will be counting down to 10 July 2027. And I suspect it will be on Saturday, so we are going to have it nice. We are going to, Dr. Moy is not going to complain about the libraries, that's our libraries closed or what. Till we on Saturday, Dr. Moy. And then we are going to celebrate. So all of us, you need to go to on daily basis to the library website, and there, going down. So I don't know when it started. It started at night. Yeah, because we were supposed to have 365 days. So we are on 364 in a couple of minutes. Therefore, it means the countdown has started. We look forward to seeing every one of you in 2027. That would also be the election year for Liasa. We are going to have a new president. This beautiful face will no longer be there. Thank you very much, colleagues. I'll hand over to the program director.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Time is really not nice to us. We are having a beautiful engagement, colleagues. Let's give it a hand of applause. Right now, I'd like to ask our colleague, Mr. Jan Mwekezi, to come forward and give us vote of thanks.
Thanks, madam. Thanks, madam. Okay. Dumelang. Legai. Where I was born, bred and buttered, the president there used to call us Batobame. My people. I'm born from I was born and raised from a small dusty village called Madidi in the northwest. I heard people bragging about their Mapunchanis and their. So my name is Jan Mwekezi. I am an information librarian at the Tshwane University of Technology, the Garangua campus. But I'm here wearing the Liasa board cap. So I've been asked to come and say thank you to all of you. And then my task is that. Thank you. Colleagues, I'm sure we are all aware that an event of this magnitude doesn't happen by itself. So first things first. Can I have Tando from Northwest? I don't want you. Who can I have from Northwest? Who's there? I just need only one. I'm Father Christmas, so I bear some goodies. We will start here. Colleagues, we are indebted to Dr. Moyo for allowing us to come here and use your facilities. And from the bottom of our hearts, we are saying thank you very much to Dr. Moyo and the team that you lead from Northwest. We have a token of, can you come forth? Dr. Moyo, yeah. We have a token of appreciation from us, Dr. Moyo. Yeah. I'm sure you have seen that these things are declared. Ne? you can come this side. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah. Press, are you not? Okay, it's okay then. Thank you. All right. Thank you. The next person that we are indebted to is none other than Prof. Mudiba, Dr. Prof. Mashilo Mudiba. The last time you gave me Stagazel, the last time you gave me your Stagazel, I remember only Komu. Yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Prof. Mudiba. Our next person to whom we are indebted to is our poet. That was something else. Baba Mukonas. And not that Mukonas who drinks a lot of water. Thank you so much for reminding us to know who we are, especially on this day as librarians. Thank you very much in that. Yeah. Thank you, Bob. Yeah, may you see many more days and inspire us with your poetic work. Thank you very much. The next person, you know, Press, this may sound strange. I've known Marupini Ramabina as our assistant electoral officer. But for years, I haven't been able to put the name to the face. And yeah, no, thank you very much in that. I know the good work that you do for this association, and we also are indebted to yourself. Thank you very much. Rama, yes, thank you. Thank you, sir. The other person that we are indebted to, Jeff, I don't know how Jeff manages these things that he talks about, but yeah, he does it. He manages. He knows, I don't know, almost everything that's to be said about AI, readathon, Mobi readathon. Every time you go somewhere, you speak to people, they say, no, I know Jeff. I've been to Jeff's sessions, etc. Thank you in that. Yeah, I'm spoiled for choice. Hey, my goodies are, yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
President, unfortunately, our grace sale. Thank you. The last two people that we have a token of appreciation for them. Mbulawa, a good program director is measured by how he stick to the program. Unfortunately, you have been found wanting. and I realize you were very soft on the president, but it's fine. Can you come forth together with your core pilot? Thank you very much for thank you very much for having us eat lunch a little bit later. Yeah, they're correct like that. You get the Northwest, he gets the Liasa. Thank you. Thank you very much. Last but not least, colleagues online, we really want to thank. It's a Friday afternoon. There's a lot happening. It's the school holidays. People have many errands to run. But thank you for sticking with us until this time. And to the audience in person, thank you very much for honoring this invite. I know many of you comes from the length and breadth of this province and the country. And thank you for honoring and gracing us with your presence. Really? Oh, that's wonderful. Colleague, I want to believe my task ends here. Thank you very much for your presence. Is dinner or lunch served? Or lunch? Okay, you'll do that. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, colleagues. We are at the end. Colleagues online, thank you so much for being with us, like he already said. Right now, I want us to go for photo shoots. I would like to invite NWLIS leadership to come forward, the Liasa president and the speakers. So is Romeo to move forward for a photo shoot. Yes. And afterwards, we'll arrange the food stories. Thank you.
And as we are doing the group photos in terms of the leadership at Northwest, even Mkonazi and all the speakers, we know you had your individual photos. That's an entire group photo. While we're doing that, we will be playing the video that we promised. Those of you who attended the conference last day, you remember it, which shows a little bit of highlights of the history, but we'll play it, Deben, sorry. Yeah, we'll play it as we're doing the group photo, and then you will tell us whether we're going home or, you know, stomach issues. I brought lunch, so.
Okay.
In 1994, South Africa entered a new dawn, one of freedom, democracy, and hope. But democracy cannot thrive on politics alone. It depends on knowledge, information, and education. For 3 decades, libraries have stood at the intersection of these ideals, quietly supporting the country's democratic journey. Today, the country celebrates not just 30 years of democracy, but the 27-year essential role that libraries have played, under, of course, the guidance of the Library and Information Association of South Africa, Liasa.
January 1995, as South Africa embarked on its democratic journey, the nation's library services needed to follow suit. The call for unification was clear. A fractured system of segregated library organizations needed to come together under one voice.
LIASA came into existence on the 10th of July 1997. Prior to this time, the South African Library and Information Services sector was organized around 3 independent, racially segregated library associations. From around 1991-92, IFLA, the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions, passed resolutions to encourage and support efforts of individual members within the associations to engage among themselves and seek ways of collaboration, leading ultimately to their unification into one non-racial South African Library Association.
I may borrow a phrase from Kamala Harris. LIASA didn't just fall out of a coconut tree. It was the result of a long gestation process of reflection, consultation, and hard work. A hell of a lot of hard work, I may add. And I was privileged to participate in this process. And we hammered together a draft constitution as a result of lots of robust discussions and vigorous debates, to put it lightly. But in the end, we agreed that we needed a single, national, unitary, non-racist, non-racial, non-sexist, and non-elitist organization for all library and information workers at all levels. So in 1997, we held a constituent conference in Pretoria where we debated the draft constitution, paragraph by paragraph, and we held a vote.
So I had to join SALIS. The other challenge was, at the time, there was SALIS, there was ALASA, and these were racially motivated. SALIS was for our white counterpart, ALASA was for the black professionals. So, you know, our country comes a long way. But as we continued, I had to join SALIS. Because I'm coming in here in the University of Pretoria. And when you were joining SALIS as a black professional that time, other black professionals were saying, "Oh, you are so brave. You are going to the other one." Others would say, "You sell out. You go into the white professional association." But this was coming to an end. I was so happy that 1994, the debates were already on, so that we should have our first democratic association.
The 1996 Unification of Library and Information Services Conference set the stage.
No, I'm waiting for the big people to. He paused. Ntate Modiba o batla o tsamaya. Thank you, colleagues. Yes, now we are about to announce the food matters. We have ushers that will assist us. We're going to first start with the tables in front for managers and the executives. Table 1, 2, 3 will be the first. The ushers will come back and give us direction. Thank you so much.
For a bold new direction, establishing a steering committee tasked with drafting a constitution for a unified library association.
Why did we call it LIASA? Well, we needed to have the letters SA for South Africa, L for libraries, I for information, and A for association. Now, there's several combinations are possible, as you can try out for yourself if you play with those letters. But it ideally also had to be a pronounceable initialism. LIASA 1, because pronounced LIASA, it sounded like the Nguni word for dawning or beginning. On the last day of the Constituent Conference, we adopted the Constitution and the name LIASA